still here, baby. I'm still here. And I'm ready to get down and dirty, if you will. Okay, maybe not so down and dirty. I'm just here to review some comic books. So, let's get funky like a monkey and let's talk about them colorful pictures, if you will. Oh, yeah. Alright. Got a stack here to talk about. Plus, you know who's going to be on this episode today, so, you know, bear with me there. Got a couple of indies, then the big two. We're going to start with the indies. We're going to start with Broadsword Comics. We're going to start off with Tarot, Witch of the Black Rose, number 92. Yeah, boobies! This is a heavily focused issue on Raven Hex, Tarot's sister. You know, long ago she had tried to conjure up a spell to resurrect her father, yet in this issue we get to see the ramifications of the spell going wrong, and it resurrected the wrong being. Perhaps when Raven Hex first enchanted the spell, she should have been a little more specific. I believe she said something along the line of resurrect the man I love, and I guess the spell interpreted the wrong definition of love. Yeah, but yeah, this one was pretty good, of course, tits and ass are gonna probably be more focused on for some other readers. You know, not that there's anything wrong with that, but hey, I love a good set of tits and ass myself, but I also still read this stuff, and the writing, the storytelling, and the progression of this story is still pretty good, and it ends on a pretty decent kind of cliffhanger. It is what it is. It's nice. It's still a fun series. You know, no shit, Sherlock, it's not meant for, for young readers, but it's fun for what it is, and for what it is, I'll give it a 3. Alright, we're moving on to Boom Studios. I almost forgot about this series because it takes so long. George Perez's Sirens, number 4. Wow. I completely I actually did forget about this series because it has been so long since issue 3. But, okay, I read this and I was in for a really surprising swerve. Turns out the Sirens, according to this issue, the Sirens are, supposedly the heroes of this storyline, when it's revealed to us that they were the ones who destroyed Terra Prime. Terra Prime is the planet that used to be known as Earth. Yes, they destroyed the Earth. They didn't blow up the globe, they just killed everything on the planet and just left it there out in space to sit there and rot. It is basically a dead planet. You can go on it, but there's literally nothing there. Some really interesting stuff in here. Some really good reveals. And George Perez, he's still got it when it comes to artwork. And he'll always be one of my heroes when it comes to the comic book industry. And I'll always admire his artwork until the day I die. There's no getting around that. But man, what a surprise. And we get to see perhaps the true main antagonist near the end of the book. This was actually really good. A bit dialogue heavy, I'll admit that. It's a bit dialogue heavy, but if you can keep your attention on it, I think you may enjoy this. I really can't honestly fully recommend getting on board with the series because it's probably going to take a few months before the next issue comes out. I mean, it took so long between issues 3 and 4. I don't see how many casual comic book fan could stay faithful to this. Some people are used to books coming out month by month by month by month by month, and some even week by week. So, but a really decent read. George Perez still has it with artwork. It may not be as strong as it once was, but it's still really good stuff. I like this. I really did. And I'd give it a 3.5. We're going on to Marvel now with my pick of the week. And this isn't as strong a pick of the week as other picks have been here lately, okay? Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows #2. First of all, I want to repeat myself by saying I'm glad to see the Spider marriage back again, even though it's for a brief period of time. And, you know, I get that. Marvel, primarily Joe Q, still does not want Spider-Man to be married. You know, yeah, it's whatever now. You know, it's like, am I over one more day yet? No. I'm still pissed off at that story. I'm still pissed off at one moment in time. I always will be. Because those two stories are probably two of the absolute worst comic book stories in general that I have ever read in my life, and I will never forgive those stories. I will never forgive Joe Quesada for insulting our intelligence the way he did. Oh, he ended the marriage. Get over it. Now, it's like, I need to set the record straight before I review this book. I'm not completely upset that he ended Joe Quesada and Marvel ended the marriage. If you're going to end the marriage, fine. And I'm sure there are fans out there who are still pissed off that Joe Q just decided to just end the marriage. You know, and I get that. But what fans like me are pissed about is how he chose to do it and how he chose to replace the marriage with a storyline that involves Spider-Man missing his wedding because a fat guy fell on him. Whatever. However, to see Spider-Man, to see Peter Parker as a married man, as a father, it feels right. It feels like the right progression for the character, the next step up. You know, it's like Marvel gets him to a certain point, you know, a natural progression in life, and then got to take a step back down to being a man-child again. But then it's like there are fans like me who always wanted Peter Parker. Okay, you got your childhood, your teenage years, your college years, and now your adult life, and what comes next? A commitment, starting a family, growing old with your family, passing your lineage down to your children if need be. Hence, Spider-Girl. You know, I always felt like Peter Parker needed to be in that position. And it feels better to see Peter Parker in this transition than to see what he is now. It just feels more natural, it feels more realistic, it feels more believable. And that's why I really love this series. That's one of the reasons why. The other stuff in here is actually really good. You got Peter, MJ, and Annie now in a world where you're not allowed to have powers. You know, and you got the villain Regent, who's got the powers of the Avengers and the X-Men. He's like this all-powerful being. And of course, at the beginning of the book, we learn that Annie Parker, Peter and MJ's daughter in this storyline, has indeed spider powers. Why? Why the hell not? And she wants to use her powers. She wants to be like her dad was. And we get to see Peter Parker being the protective father in a way that only he can do it in here, and I absolutely loved it. You know, he's willing to risk his safety, and he's willing to risk his freedom to save not only a child, but his child. And he goes that extra mile to help conceal himself, to help keep it low profile. You know, it's like, okay, I'm going to use my powers briefly, wham, bam, get the hell out. But in the meantime, still protect his family. I love to see Peter Parker having someone to fight for, having someone to truly protect above all else, like a true hero should. I absolutely loved it. Really good stuff. And not to mention, we get to see a hint at something Peter may have actually done with an old foe in here, and I'm not going to give that away. Really nicely done. A good read, wasn't perfect, but I loved it. I loved it for what it is. I give it a 4. Alright, we're ending Marvel with Star Wars Lando #1. I almost passed on this, but after reading it, I'm glad I picked it up. Charles Soule does the writing. This is the beginnings of the storytelling involving Lando Calrissian. We get to see what kind of person he was before we saw him in The Empire Strikes Back. And oh my god, this motherfucker has a laundry list of problems, not to mention a laundry list of enemies. This was very impressive. Very, very impressive. His gambling debts, his thievery, everything. You name something small and illegal, this motherfucker's probably done it. Excuse me. But wow. I was going into this thinking, but when I read it, I was like, huh, nice, really good. And he has to pull off a job that to help erase his debt. But oh my god, he has to pull a job. He has to go steal something from somebody, not knowing who he's stealing from. He doesn't know, but us readers do. Holy shit. This was a very impressive beginning to this story. Not bad, Marvel. Not bad. I give it a 3.5. Alright, moving on to DC, starting off with Batman #42. Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo, still telling a good story here. Don't get me wrong, you know, nobody will ever be better than Bruce Wayne as Batman, but I'm willing to give Jim Gordon a chance. You know, it's like as soon as it was revealed that Jim Gordon was going to be Batman, I saw people bitch and complain, no, Batman needs to be Bruce Wayne, it can't be nobody but Bruce Wayne. Give Gordon a chance. You know, I'm willing to give him a chance. And so far, he's not bad. He's not bad. He's not great, but he's not bad. You know, I like it. He's got like bat patches of Nicorette or those Nicorette patches that you put on to help you quit smoking. And when he does feel the urge to smoke, he'll chew on a candy cigarette. It's some of the small things that get my attention, and I really like it. He's practicing throwing batarangs since he can't use a gun anymore. But then we also get to see Jim Gordon's Batmobile. Now that's what you call a Batmobile. Very, very impressive. Damn thing's pretty big. But minor spoiler. Bruce Wayne does make an appearance in this issue. Okay, so obviously he faked his death, but we still don't know the full story on behind that. And nice little ending at the end of the book. Really nicely done. If I had to critique, if I have one big critique about this issue, Greg Capullo, I love your artwork, but god damn it, you can't draw Maggie Sawyer worth shit. Your interpretation, your rendition of Commissioner Maggie Sawyer looks like crap. It looks like crap. You make, I hate to say this, but it's the truth. It's how I honestly feel. You drew a lesbian to look like a gay man. It's just how it looks for me. Maggie Sawyer looks horrible in this issue. Other than that, not bad. Really good stuff. I did enjoy it. 3.5. Okay, y'all see this? You know who's here. You're up. YouTube. Yeah, I'm back. And I'm here to discuss with you my thoughts and opinions on this. Earth 2 Society, #2. The new creative team is still going at it, hoping to top the success of the prior creative teams on this title. However, I gotta say, I was under the impression that this comes off as a slightly above average read at the very best. What this basically was a step backward to see the beginning of the new Earth 2 and everything. And I'm all fine in that. I'm fine with retracing your steps and showing us how it all began, so to speak. But there still is a lot left to be desired. And one of the things I must make clear is Terry Sloan. Terry Sloan carries this very cliched, nothing can stop me now attitude, and to be honest, it's kind of boring me. I've seen it done so many times. It's quite frankly coming off a little redundant. However, the rest of the characters and the heroes, they're all portrayed very well, for the most part. At the same time, it still feels like another spotlight on Dick Grayson Batman. But as my Earth Prime counterpart would say, it is what it is. What can I say? I like to be honest too. And honestly, it's a shame that a book based on my world, Earth 2, can be so much better than it is right now. It was such an incredible series before DC decided to overexpose it with a World's End title that I didn't care about. However, this was a decent read, but still, like I said before, left a lot to be desired. And there's my thoughts on that. I'm sure he'll give it a 3. I suppose I'll do it the same. A 3 out of 5 for me. Well, that's all for me, folks. If you want to know more about me, all good things come to those who wait. But don't fret, you'll learn about me later on down the road. I guess I'll see you all later. Farewell, my friends. Back to you. Well, I'll give him credit. He is certainly a little more polite than my previous counterpart was. You know, he claims he's still my Earth 2 counterpart, but something must have happened to him after Convergence happened, and I don't know what it is. I can't stay in contact with him that much anymore, so I don't know what's going on. But yeah, he was pretty much right. I feel the same way as he did. You know, Terry Sloan, this attitude he has of, you know, I believe he put it, nothing can stop me now kind of attitude. He's right, and he was right. I'd give it a 3. All right, we're ending this review with Justice League of America #2. I'm 2 issues in, and I'm already starting to regret picking this up. That's sad, folks. Brandon Hex does the writing. Okay, now I had to dial it back a bit and realize, okay, this is obviously taking place before Convergence, because 1, why is Superman still in this outfit? Because now the Convergence is over, Superman's got a nearly a buzz cut, and he's going around in a t-shirt and jeans again. Hal Jordan's not a Green Lantern anymore. He now has a Green Lantern technology, and he's calling himself Renegade. Batman is still Bruce Wayne. It's not Jim Gordon. And Wonder Woman's still in this outfit when she's now in her new Queen of the Amazons outfit that we saw in Wonder Woman 41. So obviously, and not to mention Aquaman's still rocking the orange and green. So obviously this does take place before Convergence. If not, somebody at DC needs to get smacked and go, hey, this ain't how it's supposed to look, you know. But 2 issues in, and I'm already having small regrets on picking this series up because, man, this one was kinda, the best developed character in this issue was Batman. And of course, writing Batman's character sometimes comes really easy. Just a paranoid fuck in a bat suit. Boom, there you go. But this whole thing with this Kryptonian god Rao is like so much ass kissing of this guy. He's doing this, doing this, doing this. It's like you think the way this issue builds him up, you think he's fucking Jesus Christ, but he's not. And it's kind of telegraphing, I'm kind of predicting that he's gonna turn rogue somewhere down the line. Or think too high and mighty of himself and try to establish order in this galaxy or what the fuck ever. All I gotta say is, But one thing I will give it credit for is the artwork. The artwork is great. And another thing I will say is I did like the cliffhanger at the end. I did. I'll admit that. But the rest of this stuff just felt kind of above average. But man, this could have been a hell of a lot better. I'll be generous and give it a 3. Hey, it is what it is. That's all I got for this review, everybody. I want to thank y'all for watching. Please subscribe to this channel, Blugoblin01. Don't forget Blugoblin X. Jennifer and I are still doing some stuff for Arkham Asylum Studio. We just did a video on Scribblenauts, and I'm fixing to upload another video on there very soon, so stay tuned for that. Don't forget my bro, TheMtVernonKid. Don't forget my buddies, Deadpoolzilla, Brandon Hex. Follow me on Twitter at Blugoblin01, Tumblr, Pinterest, Facebook. You can follow me anywhere. Thanks again for watching, everybody. I am Groot. See y'all later.